Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Sorry for doing videos back to back to back. I just have so many recipes I want to share today mainly because we are going to be eating all this for dinner tonight. All right, so I noticed that my husband ran out of bread, so I'm going to make his favorite bread. So go ahead and get you a bread maker. This is mine. This is Betsy. I've had it for a little while. Now Betsy is about 7 years younger than me. She's old, but she's mighty. I love her to death. One of my favorite tools I got in the kitchen. I'm always constantly using her to make pasta dough, to make bread, to mix cakes and cookies and all kinds of stuff you can use a bread maker for. So she is by far one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. So this is the insert, the pan that goes inside. And yes, she is old, you can tell. She was born in 91, I think the date was on her. So you see this little piece right here? So that you want to make sure is all the way in, because that's going to hold your bread while it cooks. Now, when you're done, when the bread is done and cooled off, you want to be able to, see if I can get it to come. Yeah, okay. So you want to be able to pull it out to get the bread out. And the reason for that is if you just try to get the bread out now, this little piece is going to tear the side of your bread. So we want to get 3/4 cup of milk, which I got in here. We want to warm it up. Always warm it up. Now this recipe, I forgot to tell you, is a cinnamon bread. It's a 7-ingredient bread. You only need 7 ingredients to make it. It's real simple. But cinnamon bread, it's one of my husband's favorite bread. And absolutely love my machine. She's old, she's stained, but she works good. She's seasoned like I am. Alright, let's see how, oh yeah, see more. Alright, so we warmed up 3/4 cup of milk. Go ahead and add it to the bottom. And you don't want to go to out of order on these ingredients. You want to follow it by ingredient because it is going in the bread machine. And it's set up to where, you know, if you put your yeast at the bottom, it's not going to set up. So it's just better for you to just follow the recipe, which I'll put the recipe in the comments, so that way you have a perfect bread. All right, so now we want 2 tablespoons of butter. Yes, my hands are clean. I'm surprised my hands aren't so chapped, but for how many times I wash my hands a day. All right. So you just want to break up a little bit, put a little piece here, a little piece there. So that way butter's kind of scattered in there. All right. Now, put this off to the side. All right, now we need 2 cups of flour. Any flour does good. I use all-purpose. I know you're supposed to use bread flour, but bread flour can be sometimes a little more expensive. So we're on a budget, so we're using just regular all-purpose flour. So we got 1. Oops. I want to make sure it's straight. There we go. There's 2. And so we want to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Alright. I guess we're just going to clean this one out because I think my other, I don't want butter in my brown sugar, and I think all the rest of my tablespoons are dirty. Alright, so I wiped it out. So we want 2 tablespoons, which I always put a little extra, just to, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I always do. Okay. Set this off to the side. All right, so now we're going to do 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and because I don't have a 3/4 teaspoon, I'm taking 1 teaspoon and not quite fill it all the way up. There we go. And if you want extra cinnamon in there, you can. It's really up to you how strong of cinnamon taste you want. And then 3/4 teaspoon of salt. There we go. And then 3/4 teaspoon of yeast. You always want to add the yeast last, because that's the, whatever is on top is going to be the last ingredient that's going to be mixed, and you want the yeast to be mixed last. So add it to the top. And this is bread machine yeast. Now you always want to refrigerate your yeast, because if not, it will ferment and not work. Alright, so we have all the ingredients. Sorry I can't show you too much because I don't want the yeast to get all down inside the milk. Put it inside our little bread machine here. Lock her in. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see. So we want it, I usually do mine on either light or medium, and you want to do white because you're using white flour, so that'd be white. But yeah, this could do French bread, dough settings, raisin bread, quick breads, white, whole grain. But I'm going to go ahead and do mine on, we'll go medium this time, I guess. And then white. And then you push start. She's going to preheat for a little bit until the inside preheats. And then she'll start mixing, and then she'll start proofing, and then she'll go back to mixing the dough again, and then proofing, and then cooking, and you just let it be, and she does all the work for you. So we will be back as soon as the dough is done and cool down, and I will cut it open and show you. Good evening, everybody. We are back. Here I have the bread that I made earlier, the cinnamon bread. I'm going to go ahead and cut it so that we can see it. Now, it's a lot easier to cut your bread with a carving knife. So I'm going to go ahead and cut into it. And there you have it. Doesn't that look good? Now I did a half of the recipe in the comments. I will put the whole recipe for everybody. And I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and have a good night. Bye.